Hello, Daddy. Hello, Mom. I'm your cherry bomb. Hello, world. I'm your wild girl. I'm your host for today's Alexander Show. And today we're in the beautiful, wondrous world of Utah's nature. Tranquility. Peace. Beauty. Ingenuity. These are the things that we have in the Alexander's Productions production. Continue to watch. Bless your eyes, ears, nose, and mouth with all the senses, sounds, and scenery of the open wilderness. This is nature's biggest garden, their big wide world. You can see many wonderful things like wild creatures, bathtubs, sinks, and toilets, and more. Come on in.
I just noticed you don't have a lifeguard here at your beach.
This isn't a beach. This is a bathtub.
All right.
Oh, what a wonderful piece of comedy. I thoroughly enjoyed that joke. So thank you, Alex. For those of you in the audience who don't know, that joke was brought to you by Alex. And hopefully we'll get some more. This journey up into the wilderness was a joyful one, but a difficult one at that. With sink in hand and toilet in the other, and bathtub strapped to our backs, we headed on our long journey. First place to go was the local market to gather some provisions and drinks for the journey. What do you have?
I'm gonna eat a cucumber real quick. These scalpers are taking everything.
What do you think about it?
I think these scalpers are stealing our Pokemon.
We noticed the scalpers were taking all the Pokemon cards away from us. So with defeat, we headed up the mountain. And our journey became more difficult, step by step, into the forest. Down the hill, into the grass, and through the trees, into the wild. After the scene was filmed and the moment was captured, spirits were high in the group as they cleaned up all of their camera gear, toilet, sink, and bathtub. They started down the mountain with smiles on their faces. Now, Alex and Anders of the Alexander's Productions production headed into the desert for an even more interesting and beautiful expedition. Howdy. We now find our travelers bumping through a wasteland full of dust and wind and bumps in the road. When they arrived at the moonscape, things looked dark and dreary. But for our travelers, this wasn't enough to deter them, for they met a new friend, and his name was Richard. Now, Richard had a setup of his own, a phone hooked to a tripod, and he was capturing the beauty of this wonderful landscape. Now the wind picked up, and mighty was its roar, and it threw the gear of Richard over the cliffs of the moonscape. To the group's wonderful astonishment, Alex arose as a hero and descended below the mountainous cliffs. He ascended triumphantly and returned the gear to its rightful owner, and the group continued their wonderful journey. After the heroics of Alex, the group warmed up with some test shots. Donning their uniforms, they suited up, and to their great astonishment, the scene became wonderful. The storm dispersed, the winds died down, and a rainbow appeared, crowning the scene with its beautiful rays, perfectly aligned with the overlook. With camera in hand, Richard expertly captured the moment in all of its glory. After the triumphant success of creating the best photo ever made, the group celebrated, and in their glory, decided to make one more video for TikTok. Alex traveled to the edge of the cliff and perched himself on the face of the rock. In his ignorance, he lost his foothold on the rocky cliff face and almost plummeted to his demise. Luckily, he was able to gather his strength and restore his balance, bringing him back to safety in the presence of his friends. After this brief setback, the group packed up their things and headed home on the long and bumpy road with their heads held in high glory. For they knew they had just captured one of the greatest photos ever taken in human history. This is my father. This is my mother. My sensei could cut the egg raw in only one take.
Well, that's the end. Thanks for watching the video. Come back next time.